COSM had a nice spike in price action today, but we shouldn't get overly bullish. Let's go ahead and go over the details for the following sessions. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again on this fine Taco Tuesday. This is ARCa coming at you with a COSM technicals, raw price action, and statistical thread of analysis. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCab. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right into the charts. Okay, so we are looking at COSM, pardon me, on the daily chart here, and we did have a little bit of a spike in price action, but I am actually not seeing any volume on it, but it looks like there's also some type of news. I saw some things here and there on Twitter, right? But the reason why I'm saying not to get overly bullish on this is because still our momentum indicators are suggesting some sideways price action for the coming sessions. Okay, so one thing I actually wanted to talk to you guys about was regarding the statistical side of the analysis, where we've been saying we're going to catch that 100 spot 378% train to the upside. Per yesterday's analysis, I was saying that momentum looks like it's starting to invalidate the move, and we could be starting another expansion phase. But in fact, we rejected that expansion phase on volatility, which is this you're looking at, represented by this indicator BBWP. We rejected that expansion phase towards the upside and now kinked again into contraction. Okay, now please remember that volatility is direction neutral. Okay, so now momentum started pivoting even further to the downside. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove my implied my implied path here from days and days ago, and start to look at the possibility of resetting a new condition for an upside move. Okay, now the reason why I'm favoring an upside move in this particular case is because the momentum oscillator is incredibly oversold. And now I know it is oversold and it is very similar to an RSI. However, I do have to point out that while we're oversold and under the 20%, within the 20 percentile, I mean, this is a critical bearish territory. Okay, so while we maintain ourselves here, the lows will maintain relevant. Okay, so meaning that our area that we're trading in or slightly below could be a possibility. We definitely would love, I mean, all of us, we should be looking for, what we should be looking for is a correction pivot here from both the moving averages in momentum. We need them both pivoted towards the upside, okay? And from there, we're going to go ahead and find out the repositioning of our volatility, okay? But still, right now, what I'm looking at is an entire invalidation of our 100 spot 378% move to the upside. Per the momentum oscillator position. Okay, so this is now officially invalidated, and now we have to find out what the next move is going to be upon price action and sentiment and all that good stuff for the next trading sessions. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to our next chart. What the indicator that you're looking at here with all these little numbers is actually an indicator provided to me by Crypstex Trading. Okay, Crypstex Trading is actually, they have since endorsed me and allowed me to use a set of very interesting tools that allow me to trade and understand the potentials of buy and sell, or upsides or downsides based on statistics, right? In this particular case, we're looking at a statistical indicator that takes a metric of every single candle printed throughout the entire trading history of the asset's particular time frame, in this case the 30-minute. Okay, so this actually takes note of every single candle count and gives us that value based on a strength percentage right up here. Okay, so you can see that we are still very much 50-50 in that huge indecision bears versus bulls. Okay, another thing that DBSI tends to, it's called ARC-DBSI, my apologies. Another thing that it does take into account is the 13-day exponential moving average, and that 13-day exponential moving average is right in, I mean, it's almost pivoted straight horizontally here, guys. So this is another reason as to why we're being suggested this indecision, and also it's in accordance of what I've been talking about, being stuck in this range. Okay, so it's very interesting that we did try to break out of this point in particular, because this is the resistance line from the broadening descending wedge that we've been riding for quite some time. Okay, so it is interesting that we tried to break out of that today as it would be expected, and we are in that validation process of test number 4, based on this iteration here. That is test number 4, true breakout. Okay, so we are maintaining well within that area and potentially validating the support before a continuation onto the upside, which is also in accordance with the statistics and in potentially resetting a new condition for an upside move that we are yet to see. Okay, so let's go ahead and now move on to the last chart, as this will be the RSI analysis. Okay, so we are looking at the 30-minute. It is another momentum-based indicator, right? So relative strength index. The purple line is your RSI signal, and the pink line is your 14-day simple moving average, which is very typical for, or a very typical setup for any RSI. These are the 4 zones that I would like for you to focus in on, as they are located right over here on the live chart. Okay, so the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame, where we usually start, is suggesting slightly bearish, slightly bullish. Okay, so now the bad thing is that we are crossing below the 14-day moving average, which suggests continuation slightly to the downside, with the pivot being very weak to the downside. Okay, the bearishness about this is not only the fact that we're crossing below the 14-day moving average, but also because we are in the shallow areas of the bull weakness percentile right over here, which usually ends up having us get pulled right into the following zone, which would be the bear weakness. Okay, so as long as we do maintain ourselves within these shallow areas, we are likely to be pulled right back into each other. Okay, so this can trigger more and more sideways trading, a limbo per se. Okay, so now bi-hourly time frame is suggesting sideways trading as well. This is slightly bullish for 2 reasons. The 14-day moving average is slightly pivoted towards the upside, and our RSI signal is sitting in the shallow areas of the bear weakness percentile. Like I mentioned earlier, as long as we do maintain ourselves here, we can actually be pulled right back into the next zone. Okay, so now the 6-hour time frame is suggesting dead sideways trading right smack in the middle of the bear weakness percentile. So this is still suggesting very much sideways trading. We have a little bit of bullish action happening on the daily RSI, as you can see that the pivot on the RSI signal is showing upside. Okay, now if you can see the 14-day moving average suggesting a little bit of an opposition from the RSI, this is signaling yet again some more sideways trading. Okay, so still the same story for COSM, and it looks like we are still within that sideways trading range. Okay, so this is why I was saying maybe not to get overly bullish on what's happening. The bullish thing within price action is that we have printed now a very nice inverted hammer at the bottom of a downtrend. I would love for this to be a lot bigger, and then that would actually, kind of validate a move to the upside. It's still a bit small considering the price action, so I would love for this to be a lot bigger, but I'm not looking at this as the bottom just yet. So please remember that we do have relevant supports right down here at the 1.618, $3.87 to about the gap fill that we looked at on the 12-hour chart at about 402, and near the 1.272 at 407. Okay, so that's the next area of relevant support, just in case we do go down there, but I don't see it going down there just yet. All right, you guys, so that's going to do it for COSM. Please know that I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, okay, as I can't suggest for you to sell or buy any assets. I need you to do your own DD, and everything will be just fine, you guys. Please don't fall for the scammers on the comments section, as they are just trying to take your money. I do not have WhatsApp. I am only active on Twitter, Discord, and YouTube. Okay, so please know that is not me. I'm certainly not going to initiate a conversation with my phone number, so so don't fall for the scammers, guys. They just want to take your cash. Okay, be very careful out there. All right, you guys, so that's gonna do it. I wish you well. I wish you a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.